Piggy, hate when people lie. Do not lie.
You watching the brat. ChesaTheBrat, yeah. Get a subscriber tab. ChesaTheBrat.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're not already subscribed, girl, what are you doing? Literally,
what are you doing?
Have you not heard, when you subscribe to me, you get a fatter ass, you get a bigger bank, you get that you was plotting on?
Yeah.
As you guys can see, I look like a naked mole rat, but that is okay because I'm going to be doing a get ready with me makeup tutorial or whatever. I have some things to do today and I'm gonna do my makeup for those things, so I might as well give y'all a little updated tutorial while I tell this story time, because y'all have been asking for a makeup tutorial. This story time is the one you guys asked for from the last video, where I was basically telling you guys I dated a pathological liar. He was insane, he was obsessed with me, he was a liar. Like,
Piggy, hate when people lie. Do not lie.
but we're gonna go ahead and do, like, get to the face. I want to at least put my freaking lashes on. I really look crazy right now. And if you're gonna drop a hate comment, make sure that you can fight, okay? No, I'm just playing. So I'm gonna go through my products and then I'm gonna just start. So for my foundation, I have this NARS. I've had this for forever. I've been using this same exact one since I was in high school. This is the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in the shade, I think this is Syracuse. No, this is Tahoe. I used to use Syracuse, or however you say that. This might be my summer shade. I'm not really sure. Or this is just my new shade. I don't know. I've been using this even now, so it's been working for me. I don't do a full face of foundation. I mix it with my Tarte Shape Tape in the color Tan Deep Sand. This is my summer shade. I might have to go back to Tan Sand when I fully lose my tan from the summer. It's going away as we speak. I use both of these. I use the Morphe Banana Bacon Set powder. I do not bake my face. I just kind of like press it in. I use the Revolution bronzer. This is Mega Bronzer in 2 Warm. I always use that one no matter if it's summer or winter time. I use this regular little, it's literally scratched off so I can't even tell you, but oh, it's the NICKAK New York. This is the mineral blush in Grapefruit. This is from the beauty supply store. It was literally $3.99. It still says the price on the back. I love this blush. I like this kind of shade of blush. I like all shades of blushes, but this one has been just tea for me lately. For my contour, which I don't really contour much, I use this NYX Wonder Stick dual-ended face shaping stick, and this one is in medium tan. It kind of just has like a highlighter stick on one side, which I don't use that at all, and then it has the contour stick that I use on my cheeks or whatever. I have the NYX the Marshmallow Primer. I know that there's other primers. I used to use this one that is discontinued, so I don't know. And if I'm looking to the side, at least while I do the makeup, like right here, I have a mirror so that I can see myself do the makeup a little better. For the setting spray, I know the, what is it? Urban Decay Overnight Spray. I used to use that from Sephora and stuff, but I just have this Wet n Wild one that I got from the beauty supply as well. And if you want a subscriber promo or a loyalty test or anything like that, you can DM me on Instagram, and if you don't have Instagram, you can email me the email that's in my description box. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So this story time dates back to another era of my teen years. I don't know specifically how old I was, but it had to be around the age of the last story time that I told you guys about, Mr. Fungus, because this is the boy that I dated when I broke up with Fungus the first time, when we were like online dating, and then I met a boy in real life and started dating him, and then we fell off, and then I went back to Fungus. This is the boy in between. This is the boy that I started dating in between. Let me go ahead and wet. I also have this to wet my beauty blender. If you don't wet your beauty blender, I think you're wasting products. I think the whole purpose of wetting your beauty blender is so that it absorbs the makeup and it doesn't come like off and like dry, if that makes sense. So this was my teen years in between me dating Fungus, the 2 times that I dated him. I ended up meeting this boy at like, I don't even know what it was, because it wasn't the skating rink. It wasn't like a party necessarily. Like it was some like artsy thing that I went to. I don't remember what it was. I know it wasn't an art show. I need some clips to clip back my hair, y'all. I'm so sorry. Hold on one second. This was like an artsy shindig thing that I don't know if it was artsy. Let me not even say that. But it was like some like creative space. I don't remember what it was. I was in my kind of alt vibe. I do want to specify and say that. I have always been an alt girly at heart, like I have told you guys. But at this time, I was getting like kind of into it. And if I can get on Snapchat, I haven't found my login for my Snapchat with all my memories, but I definitely will try to look so I can show you guys what I mean. Like I was wearing very alternative clothes, especially for like me, because I'm alternative, but I'm not like hardcore like rock star alternative. I'm more like grungy, like kind of vamp. I don't even know how to categorize myself because it changes. Mind you, I was dating Fungus when I met him. When I met him, it's not like we like did anything or just hit it off immediately. I thought he was really cute and I met him in this space and we all were, it was like a networking type of thing, but I wasn't a creative. I didn't do art. I didn't do anything like this. I think like my homegirl did, and like, cause I know she was a creative, like she created, it wasn't necessarily like paint kind of art. She created like, she made crocheted like tops and clothes and stuff like that, but she also did other stuff. Like I think she did like ceramic stuff. And she brought me to this thing because I didn't have nothing to do, and I obviously was like the aesthetic for it, but I didn't have any like artistic ability or skill. And everybody there was just exchanging information. Like it wasn't in a flirtatious way. He definitely like was very smiley with me, very warm and very charming. Like if you ever met somebody that just has like a real warm spirit about themselves when you meet them, very like kind and just really open, that's what he gave. And I wasn't used to meeting any like boys like that, which it sounds terrible when you like when I say that, because it's like, damn, you weren't used to meeting nice guys that were charming and warm and welcoming and open. Not at that age. Let's be real. Usually when I was meeting a guy at that age, as y'all know from my story times, they were, you know, F-boys, and even if they were trying to come off as non-F-boys, it still was like, usually when I would meet them, it would be in a flirtatious sense on their end at least. And when I met him, he wasn't really flirting. He was just exchanging his information. He told me he did art, and I was just like, okay, cool, like that's cool. And we followed each other and exchanged information. Now what made me kind of break up with Fungus to explore this boy is because I kept ending up in spaces where he was because of this friend that I was hanging out with. And I was like, I don't know, like it was just, we kept ending up in the same places. And he ended up saying something one day. He was just like, wow, like I don't know what it is, we just keep ending up in the same place, like it's got to be fate, like why do we keep ending up in the same spaces? And the reason I say that is because when I tell you guys that the first time we met was in like a networking creative space type of scene, it wasn't like every time that I came around again with her that it would be all the same people from that first hangout. It would be just him. Like I wouldn't recognize anybody every time I went besides him. So when he said like kind of, oh, I feel like it's like meant to be that we keep seeing each other in these spaces, I was like, you know, meant to be in what sense? Like what do you mean by that? Like meant to be like we're meant to be friends? Like what do you mean? And he kind of told me like, we can talk about what I mean like later, because they were like busy doing stuff in this space. Like just imagine a creative space where people are exchanging their art, not exchanging it like giving it to each other, but showing each other their art, talking about it, you know, and there were opportunities for people to buy stuff from each other, from other people, and then there were people that came that weren't artists or anything that could buy stuff and just talk to the people that did the art and stuff like that. So it was like a space like that. And he ended up texting me and was like, hey, like I know you have a boyfriend, and he knew that it was a long distance boyfriend, because when he followed me on social media, like everybody knew that I was dating someone that was in Texas. He was just kind of like, I don't know how serious you guys are, or how often you guys speak, but I just wanted to kind of ask you, like, you know, would you be down to get to know me? Like, I don't know how to really approach this considering you have a boyfriend, but I really think that we have been put in each other's lives and like just in each other's faces for a reason, because I keep seeing you and you're not even like, you know, you're not an artist or anything, and I just keep seeing you in these spaces and I feel like it's for a reason. Mind you, this is an artistic guy. He also like was very poetic. When I followed him on Instagram, he would post poems and stuff like that, and we're gonna get to kind of how I got swindled, okay? Because I'm not a cheater. I've never been a cheater. I've never been the type of person to even be open to like the thought of somebody else while I'm in a relationship. So obviously this was my first long distance relationship. That does not justify you know, even entertaining someone that has a clear interest in you. And I mean, I was like hella young at this age, and also I didn't know how to navigate having this long distance relationship with us already being distant at this point. This was when we were already being distant. He was already being weird. He was already posting with girls, and like I didn't know who he would be hanging out with and stuff like that. And I was a bit distant too, but I wasn't doing anything that he didn't know about, even down to what I'm talking about now. Like, he knew that I was going to this creative space. It's not like I hid my following list from him. Like, he knew that I had followed this boy and everything. So it is kind of, I guess, effed up on my end that this is who I mean, not after everything we learned about Fungus, but I guess like at the time before everything happened, I guess it is kind of like lame. But I mean, we went back to each other after this case anyways, and if he cheated on me the second time, when we actually did meet and when we actually like did hang out and like was able to see each other and was older and shit, imagine what he was doing the first time around, like during this time that I'm talking about. Like, imagine what he had going on. So I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much, but I'm not going to say I'm not wrong at all. But anyways, so I kind of told, wait, I didn't even name this boy. We're going to name him. He's a liar and he's like artistic. What can we name him? Damn, I want to do something funny and clever, but he also like tried so hard to be so like mysterious and so, because remember that boy I told you guys that I was obsessed with in high school, the senior that came, that I also kind of dove into my more alt era because of? He was mysterious. Like, he didn't try so hard to be mysterious. He was mysterious. Like, he was exactly who he thought that he was. So this is like different. Like, this boy, we gotta give him a name because I keep saying this boy and this boy and this boy. The boy in this story time, we're gonna name him Picasso. Ooh, should I say Picasso? Picasso. Picasso, that's corny. Picasso is corny, isn't it? Because it's like, he wanted to be Picasso so bad because he was a painter, but like, no. So like, Picasso, I don't know. I feel like that I can't do that to myself because my names are always T, or they're like, you know, just cool. So I can't do no corny ass name all of a sudden. So we're gonna just do Picasso because he did art and he painted. So Picasso, I guess it was kind of lame that I started, you know, to get swindled by him. Because I mean, I don't know, would it have been worse if y'all tell me, would it have been worse if I would have like not you know, told Fungus at the time of us having this little internet relationship, if I didn't like make it clear that I was going to these things and that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was communicative and I didn't like hide that I followed him or anything like that. Like, I wasn't secretive with it because I had no intentions with him, if that makes sense. He just was somebody that I was meeting at these things at the time. But this is how I got swindled. So when he did say this, like first propose something with me, I kind of shut it down and I was just like, you know, I don't want to do nothing like that because I really wouldn't want that done to me. And I was like, I don't know, like I don't really even know where I'm going with that right now, because like I told y'all, it was up in the air, like how I was feeling. I was constantly talking to my homegirls about it, like, damn, do you guys think that I should stay with him? Like, I'm so uncertain. I was so uncertain about it because she was just like not working out. Like, we were really distant from each other and stuff. So I was like, do you guys feel like I should stay and thug it out? And they, like, a lot of my homegirls were just telling me to stay because of how cute he was. Like, I did tell you guys, Fungus was fine shit. So my friends were kind of like on their delusional shit, and they were like, girl, like, that's just part of long distance relationships. And mind you guys, some of the friends that were telling me this had like told me that they did long distance before. So I kind of felt like I was getting, you know, wise words from someone that's already experienced it. So I was kind of like, damn, you know, maybe I am tripping. Maybe I'm overthinking this whole thing. Like, I don't want to, like, you know, make a irrational decision if that's not really how I'm feeling or whatever. So I kind of just felt like I had to thug it out, and I was trying to. So I kind of told him this, and he respected it. He was like, okay. He was just kind of like, all right, well, you know, I respect it. I'm not trying to, you know, disrespect your relationship in any way. So that was kind of it when it came to that, because like, what is he gonna say? Like, no, you have to be with me. Like, you know, he's not gonna do all that. So we kind of just keep following each other, whatever. He respected it, and we kept following each other, right? So shit keeps going left with me and Fungus, and I kind of like am fed up with it. He's starting to kind of like gaslight me when I'm pointing out that he's being distant, and like, I'm even saying at this point that we're both being distant, like, towards each other, and like kind of just pointing out that it's not working out. Like, I'm like, hey, we don't really speak that often anymore. Like, we're in a relationship, or we're supposed to be, at least. He would text me back 2 days later, and to me, I don't care. I've always been a crazy. That's unacceptable. I don't care if you live in the North Pole. It's not happening. Like, I'm not cool with that much time not speaking to each other. 2 days is crazy. I would start thinking that you're not alive if I don't hear from my partner in 2 days. That's just not okay. And he wouldn't be okay with it if it were me. He literally could not care less. So he was just kind of like, all right, well, if you feel like that, I can't say nothing to you about it. I'm not going to force you to be with me type shit. If he would have said something, offering some type of solution or showing that he cared about the relationship, I would have probably stayed longer than I did. So boom, I end up kind of breaking up with him. And Picasso, y'all, I didn't exclaim to the internet that I broke up with Fungus or nothing like that this first time around. I didn't say that we broke up. He starts to post poems, and these are original poems that he's writing, that he's starting to post. I'm gonna set my face, and then I'll have my lip combo to do, and that'll be it. I think in the back of my head, this is why I said this in the other video, that I like broke up with him to date somebody else. In the back of my head, I was absolutely interested in Picasso. I just didn't, I don't know, I felt like, why am I telling a dude while I have another dude that I like him? Instead of cheating on someone, leaving them is kind of the better alternative, right? That's kind of what us, or a lot of us women, be hoping men do instead of cheating on us. Just tell me you don't want to be with me and go be with whoever you want to be with, right? I don't immediately tell Picasso that I like him. I kind of just lay low with it. One day he ends up posting this poem, and it's something like, he was regularly posting poems, so it wasn't like foreign for me to see him post a poem. But this specific poem was something along the lines of like, it rhymed, but I'm not no Dr. Seuss, so just imagine me saying these things and it coming out in a rhyme. But it says something along the lines of like, every time I see you, my throat swells up with nerves, and that we were meant to see each other, and that we were meant to be in each other's lives. A lot of what he said to me that time that he made his first move, or that I felt like it was a move. I like the lip, but I know a lot of you guys probably won't. But anyway, so he does this poem. He's talking about all of these things that he said to me when he made his move the first time around. Remember when he was like, I feel like we were put in each other's life for a reason. I don't feel like we're seeing each other so often for no reason. I feel like this is fate and blah, 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 blase, blah. So in this poem, he says something like, you're so beautiful to me, and no matter the distance, I would never be distant. this is what got me. Like, y'all probably gonna look at me like, bitch, that's all it took? Like, that's really all it took? That one liner is all it took? Yes.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Like, literally, that's all it took. And it was just something about it, because it did let me rephrase me saying I wasn't sad about this breakup. I wasn't sad about it in a sense of like, I was crying my eyes out. I was so heartbroken about the fact that we weren't together. I was just sad about the fact that it went the way that it did. Like, I don't know, I put in much more effort in this relationship than he did, and I was only becoming distant because of how distant he was. And I would have made an effort, like, no matter how far we were from each other. I really was interested in Fungus, and I would have, you know, fought harder for the relationship if I felt like he cared. And when I did break up with him, I sort of like kind of hoped that he did, and he didn't. So it was like, it was Picasso saying, like, no matter the distance, I would never be distant from you. Like, it was just like, I knew this fucking play was about me. And I also was just like, I don't know, I've never talked to, at this point, I had never talked to a guy that was so, like, poetic and romantic. Like, romantic, yes, I've talked about guys, like, at that age where I was just like, oh, this is romance. That was romance, baby. Like, you're writing poems on your story about me, honey? Like, are you for real? Like, am I really that girl? You're writing poems dedicated to me.
Like, hello?
So I slid up on it, and I was just like, at question mark. Like, that was, I should have came up with something better than that, because it was so smooth and so romantic and so charming, and my response was just at question mark. And he was just like, something like, if the shoe fits. And I was like, so is this about me, or is this just, am I delusional? Like, I didn't say delusional, but I was like, is this about me, or like, am I assuming or whatever? And he was like, no, it's definitely about you. Like, I don't know, I just can't get you out of my head. And I know what you told me, like, I know you're in a relationship, but, and I was like, I'm not. And he was like, what you mean? And I was like, I'm not in a relationship. And he was just like, oh my God, like, what do you mean? I thought you said that y'all were together. And I was like, yeah, I ended up ending things with him like a couple days ago, because the distance was just getting in the way of our relationship. He wasn't really putting in no effort or nothing like that. And he was just like, well, I would never do you like that, queen. Basically, he was just like, you know, I know that we don't live that far apart, but even with the distance we have, I would never be distant towards you. And he was like, I could live in Africa and I would still be making an effort to speak to you and make you feel like the princess that you are. Like, this was the era of princess. Like, I know we love as women now to be called a queen, and we've been queens, but at the time, like, when I was young, it was princess. Like, there were memes being made about, oh, when he calls me princess. Like, we loved that down.
Like, real bad.
We started dating. He planned a date, no questions asked, and he took me to the High Museum in Atlanta. Now, if you live in Atlanta, you know the High Museum is like an art museum that's in the city, and everybody and their mama goes there. Every man that swears he's creative or artistic in some type of way is going to take you to the High Museum, and he's going to ask you, have you ever been to the High Museum? Like, it's this underground, foreign, like, he's taking you to a museum in Paris. Like, literally, like, you're like, he's taking you to Paris or some shit. Like, it's not that deep. It's literally the most common museum in the area. Like, everybody knows of the High Museum. Like, please be for real with yourself. So, but at the time, I've never been to the High Museum, okay? So he's like, I want to take you to the High Museum. There were these things that were like for teens, I believe. It was like teen nights on Fridays, where it would be like almost like a party after you go like look at the exhibits. It would be like, they would have like a DJ there. And I don't know that they would have like food and stuff. Obviously not lick, because we were underaged. But it would be like a nice little vibe outdoors, and you could dance and stuff like that. So he takes me to this museum. I am like in awe of this museum. It's so beautiful in there. I'm not gonna like say that it's not. And they change out the art that's in there, right? So he's kind of talking to me about how he has art that he makes himself, which I've seen some of his art when I've met him at those like art pop-ups or whatever you want to call those things, like the art exhibits. What would you guys call that? Like, I don't even know, like a showcase, an art showcase, but like with multiple different artists. It wasn't like his own showcase. So he was just kind of like, it's my dream to have like, you know, my art somewhere in here. And he was like, I have something in the works. This is where his bullshit started. He was like, I have something in the works with one of my art pieces. There's like somebody that works here. He was like, there's like a recruiter here that kind of is interested in one of my pieces, but I'm trying to like finalize the details of, you know, how much I want to, you know, kind of sell it for, because I don't really believe in selling my art just for the money, because I don't feel like my art really has a price. But, you know, I do got to make money to help my mom pay bills because she's a single mother. Keep in mind every detail that I tell y'all that he's telling me, keep it in mind. He's just like, I gotta help my mom. She's a single mother and I have a sister, and you know, my mom is really struggling, and I'm using my art commissions and just my art money to help her pay bills and stay afloat. And I'm uber impressed by this, because we're so young. I'm like, damn, you're helping your mom pay bills and you're like 15, 16. I don't even know how old he was. 16, 15, 14. No, he wasn't 14. 15, 16, 17, one of those ages. I'm like, damn, like that's really like generous of you, and that's really kind of you and stuff. And he's just kind of telling me that, and he's showing me all the exhibits. He knows about the exhibits there. Mind you, the exhibits change, which I didn't know that then. So he had to have been there to see those exhibits already, because they're constantly changing. I don't know how long they take to change them, but it's giving he went there so that he would know about the art before taking me there. But he took me and he was like telling me the fun facts. Even though the facts were kind of next to the art, he was telling me about it before coming up to it. So it's not like he was like coming to it and reading it to me and kind of like telling me about it. He would tell me like, oh, that one over there, I can tell you like is this blah 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 blah. And then we would get to the art and it would say that, and I would be so impressed. Like I was eating it up, baby. I was like, the flavors were melting on my tongue, literally. I'm like, okay, he knows his art. He knows his art. Mind you, I didn't know shit about none of the shit on the wall. I didn't know who did it. I don't know where it came from, none of that. Like, I'm pretty sure some of them are independent artists and shit. Like, he acting like he just been studying the history of this art since he was a little kid type shit. So I'm just like impressed. Long story short, date goes really well. He's holding my hand throughout the art museum, and all of this I'm eating up like a bag of fucking chips. We go to the little night where they're like playing the music and stuff, and like he's literally dancing with me. They're not playing slow music, so it's not like we're dancing like this, but he's like, you know, he's like dancing with me. He's like grabbing my hips and stuff, and I'm like stop, because like it really doesn't take much.
Amen.
No, I'm playing. But so after that, we walk to this pizza place that's somewhere around this museum. He gets me pizza. I didn't have to lift a finger, do anything, and I'm just so impressed. And I was like, I literally thought this was going to be the love of my life because of how romantic he was. And at the time, I mean, I'm still a lover girl now, but like I was not into the toxicity at this point. I was over the toxicity. I was wanting like a boy to just treat me how I was supposed to be treated, and I thought this was it. So nothing significant happens this day. We start dating each other. He asked me to be his girlfriend. He literally took me to a restaurant, and I think it could have been like Longhorn or something, but he had like them bring this ice cream and then like strawberry and caramel. Because he knew I didn't like chocolate, he went as far as to ask them, because I think what they normally used was like a chocolate to spell out stuff. He asked them to use caramel and strawberry to spell out I don't think it said like, will you be my girlfriend, question mark. I think it was more like I think it was, do you want to be mine? And it was like a box with yes or no, and they brought me like a syrup to literally like put on there, check mark yes or no. And I was like, this is so cute. I literally ate it up so bad. And so we started dating. Like this was very short period of time that he made me his girlfriend, but I had already known him, and he kind of told me, he was like, I know you probably haven't met really like a lot of lover boys, but I really like, I'm not trying to move fast with you. I just know what I want, and I know you're what I want, and I like can't wait any longer for you to be my girlfriend. So I'm like, I'm like, oh, like yeah, I'm that girl. Like you couldn't convince me. Nobody could tell me shit. Like literally, I'm literally that. So we start dating or whatever. Now this is how the red flags start rolling in more and more, not on top of the shit that he already told me. So he goes to another school. I want to preface this by saying that he did not drive, and I don't even think that I drove yet. Or no, I drove and he didn't have a car because his mom was struggling. You know, she didn't let him drive his car. His mom, you know, he told me she was more on the strict side or whatever. So he kind of would say things to deter me from wanting to get to know his mom. This is something I was noticing, like every time that I would talk about like, oh, like, you know, because he met my mom at some point. I was like, when am I gonna meet your mom? He was like, I don't know, like I don't want to, you know, not to be disrespectful to my mom, but she's not very welcoming to girls. Like I don't bring many girls around, but when I have, she's not really welcoming to it. I don't know what it is. Like I don't think she wants me to be dating because she wants me to focus on my art. Like I don't know why I was like not questioning this more, but I mean, if I was older, I would probably, like, now that I'm older, I would be like, hello, like the fuck, like is your mom like one of those weird moms because you're a boy and like she's a weird boy mom or what? Like I don't know, but he wasn't saying it like that, like, oh, she don't like when I date girls. He was making it about like his focus and saying like she's felt like I've been distracted in my relationships before, so she just isn't really open or welcoming or too warm of the thought of me being in a new relationship. So I was just like, whatever, like I'm not pressed to meet mommy, like I'm not pressed to meet your mom, so it doesn't matter that much. So keep in mind though, this was a tactic that he used. So mind y'all, this is not that long of a story because the lies started to add up, baby, and we're gonna get to that really quickly. He ends up telling me that he hit this commissions for his art, that he was gonna give it to someone, he was gonna make all of this money off of it. I don't really know how commissions work for art, and I don't really feel like looking that shit up, but he told me like he really hit really big and that he was gonna take me on this huge shopping spree after he gave his mom the money. He was like, it's more than enough money to help his mom with bills and stuff like that. I don't know why I fell for this, because it's like, boy, you are not that old. I mean, there's probably younger people that really hit big on art pieces. I don't know much about the world of art. I do know, now that I'm older, that I know that it's a hard industry to be a part of. Like I know that it's hard to make it big with painting and things like that, especially now in the world of AI and like how easy it is to make art without having to really do it with your hands. But I didn't know about this back then. So mind you, AI was not really prevalent. I don't even think AI was spoken about when, you know, this in this era of my life. This was hella long ago. I'm 24 years old now. This is my teen years. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. This is my boyfriend at this point, by the way. I'm wearing band shirts because he was alternative, like I said, but he was an alternative creative. So it wasn't like alternative giving like punk band. It was alternative giving like grungy artist, painter, poet type shit. And I was already kind of easing into my grungy era at this point. So I'm wearing band shirts. Like this is the same thing that I did with that boy when I was was crushing on that senior. I'm wearing band shirts of bands that I don't even know nothing about. I did listen to like Paramore and, you know, certain things. Like I did listen to Metallica at one point. I went to a Metallica concert. So it wasn't completely performative, but there were bands that I didn't know nothing about that I was wearing shirts of like I knew. And I was even trying, bitch, I know you're gonna be like, you're gonna cringe with me, but I was literally starting to try to paint.
Boy, if you don't,
I was trying to like impress Picasso because I was not artistic at all. Like I'm artistic in like design and stuff like that. Like I know I have the vision of stuff, but I can't really put it together with my hands. So that's why when I like sell clothes and stuff like that, it's gonna be original designs, but it's not gonna be like handmade or crafted by me because I just quite literally don't have the skill. So yeah, so he ends up having this art show. And I end up meeting his mother at this art show. My whole family comes out to this shebang. My brother comes, my brother, girlfriend at the time, who is now his wife. She's been with my brothers for like 10 years now. So she was in the picture. She pulled up to support my mother, my grandmother, me. Everybody came to this art show. I was not playing about it. One thing about me, every time I've ever been in a relationship, even down to now, I don't play about my partner. My family is going to be my partner's biggest cheerleader just as well as me. Like my boyfriend, he has shows, like he performs that and stuff because he makes music. My people are always going to pull up, and if they don't, and they could have, they're gonna hear my mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't play about support because I expect support the same way I give it. You know what I'm saying? I end up meeting his mother at this showcase. And when I said hello to her, she kind of like looked at me like scum of the earth, like off the street, like quite literally like I'm her biggest disappointment, literally. I'm just like, all right, whatever, like I don't really care about that. I was respectful to her nonetheless. My parents literally bought one of his, because it was like he was selling art there. and displaying his art, and nobody bought but my family. We quite literally bought everything that he had displayed. like I'm not even trying to make fun of him or nothing, but my people bought his stuff, and I had like his art plastered all over my walls. Like I would say, y'all like, girl, is he obsessed with you or are you obsessed with him? He was obsessed with me. We're gonna get to that, or like it gave that. Y'all can tell me if it didn't, but like maybe we were obsessed with each other, but he was just obsessed with me in a weirder way. I was just giving supportive girlfriend. Like, if my boyfriend makes art, why would I not have his art in my room? That's the art that my family bought. What was I gonna do, throw it in the trash? No, I put it on my wall. I don't think that gives obsessive. But anyway, so after this showcase, I kind of talked to him about how his mom, like, I felt like how she treated me. She spoke to my mom. She was respectful to my mom because, like, she knew better. I mean, my mom was an adult. My mom didn't see her, like, you know, look at me the way that she did. And I didn't say nothing about it because I didn't want my mom to dislike her mom and in turn dislike him. So I didn't say nothing to nobody about it. It just was something I had to internalize. And then time goes on, boom, this boy ends up texting me one day and he's just like, there's this girl that keeps harassing me. I'm cool with her, but she doesn't take no for an answer. Like, she's somebody that I keep telling I don't like. I'm in a relationship for one, and you know, she's been trying to be with me for all this time, and she's like, I don't know what to do about it. And he's like, I don't want you to say nothing to her, but I just don't want you to not know about what's going on, because I would want you to tell me if there was somebody trying to cross boundaries with you and all of this. Like, he's going on and it's making me jealous as, like, I'm like, who? And he's like, I'll show you her, but like, I'm not gonna show you her page because I don't want you to say nothing to her. And I'm just like, all right, like, I'm not gonna say nothing to her, but you're gonna set the boundaries, right? And he's like, yeah, I'll set the boundaries. He sends me messages of him messaging her saying, like, you know, curving her basically and saying, like, you need to respect my relationship or we cannot be friends. And her just finally saying, like, you know what, fine, but like, low-key that she's waiting on his turn. And he was like, I'll cut her off if you want me to. And I was just like, you know, I was like naive at this point, and I was like, nah, like, you set a boundary. I'm not going to tell you who you can and cannot be friends with, but if she continues after this conversation, then yeah, you're gonna have to cut her off, or I'm gonna have to say something to her. And he's just like, cool. We've been dating for a couple months at this point, or like a month or two, I don't know how long, but it feels like forever at this point. This feels like hubby, okay? So keep this in mind that I said this about old girl. He has this girl that's on him, been on his body for all this time, that won't leave him alone, that he just needs to get rid of, and he curves her and basically sets a boundary, right? Okay, cool. Time goes on and I'm starting to notice little things that aren't adding up about him. Like, one minute he's telling me that, you know, oh, I can't really, like, we can't really go anywhere because I don't have any money. And he starts trying to guilt trip me, almost in a sense where, like, he needs me to send him some money. So he's telling me, like, my art stuff is not picking up right now. Like, nobody's really buying. Like, he's like, as you can see from the showcase, like, it kind of flopped. And I know you guys bought the stuff from my art, but I didn't even sell y'all sell it to y'all the price that I would have if, like, strangers were there. I gave you guys, like, a friendly, like, friends and family discount for the art or whatever, and that's not the amount of money I was supposed to make. And, like, stuff is still not picking up, so I really don't have, like, any money, and my mom needs, like, so much help with bills and stuff like that. And he was like, he started telling me he's experiencing these symptoms and that he doesn't feel good, and that he has, like, you know, he doesn't want to really talk about his health history because it stresses him out. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? He's just like, every time I kept asking him that, he would change the subject. And he was like, I don't want to, like, overwhelm you with it. I'm a man, or like, he would say I'm a man at our, like, young ass ages, but he was like, I'm a man, I'm gonna handle it. But he was just like, I just want you to know, if I'm not taking you out on dates as much or whatever, that it's because I don't have it or whatever. So I'm like, I'm not tripping on us going on dates. Like, I appreciated every date you ever took me on, and I love going out with you, but I'm not with you for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're struggling right now, if I got the money to go on a date, we can go on a date on my dime. Like, I don't mind. And I'm like, we can even do things that don't cost money. Like, we can save money together. Like, I can help you with whatever you need. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm feeling for him at this point. And he would even cry on the phone, like, cry real tears on FaceTime about these situations he's talking to me about. And yeah, so I end up having this birthday party. He ends up coming. I'm like, he is acting like a square in front of my people. Like, I'm, like, dancing. There's this girl that, like, these girls that came. I posted a flyer for my birthday party. Was it my sweet 16? I don't know, but I have a story time for my 16th birthday party, or it might have been my 17th. I don't really remember. I have a birthday party story time that y'all can let me know if y'all want. It's a crazy situation. Also, I have a story time of when I I don't know, I don't want to spoil it by saying this, but let's just say that I went out of my way to pretend that I was trying to get a service from someone to beat their ass because they deserved it. So let me know which story time y'all want first. The birthday party involves a fight. Just like, so both of them involve fights. So just let me know which one you guys want first. If I had to tell you guys which one was crazier, I would probably say, they're both just as crazy. I'm dancing with my homegirls and stuff at this party. These are just little red flags. This is not situations. I'm dancing with my homegirls at these parties and stuff, and he's like getting hella jealous. But mind you, he wouldn't want to dance with me in front of people. He would only want to dance with me, like the only time he danced with me was at this at the first date thing where we were at the museum. But at my birthday, he wasn't trying to dance. Like, and when I was twerking with my homegirls and stuff, he was getting jealous and being weird. And he was like, I don't know, like, he was calling me ratchet and stuff. Like, I get it, boy, you like art and stuff and you feel like you're like this freaking artistic boy or whatever, but you're not about to make me feel like I'm wrong for being myself. You know what I'm saying? So little things like that started to happen. He started to ask me for money. Like, he would ask me for like $100 and tell me that he's gonna pay me back when he sells a painting, and I would send him $100. He would not pay me back when he got a painting. I mean, he would not pay me back. I don't think he was getting any sales or whatever. And I asked him like, hey, whatever happened with that commissions? He ended up saying that he sold that painting, like he sold it, but that they scammed him and didn't give him the money or whatever, and he still doesn't have that painting. And he showed me the painting, by the way. And then one time we got on FaceTime, and the painting that he showed me that he said he sold, that he got scammed of, was literally on the wall, like in the background still. He never sold the painting. I saw it, and I clocked him about it, and I was like, isn't that the painting you said that you gave away like to sell, and that they scammed you of the money or whatever? And he was just like, no, that wasn't it, that it was another one. But like, y'all, I literally had in the messages where he was like, babe, I hit this commissions really big. Like, that was the one that he said was more than enough money to help his mom out and stuff. That painting, he sent me a picture of it when he told me that, and it was still in the messages. And when he was on FaceTime with me, he was like, no, that's not the same painting or whatever. He was like, it's similar, but it's not the same. And I went to the messages and it was literally the same. But I didn't say nothing to him about it, because I was just like I was noting all of this. Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, how many things has he lied to me about already? Like, this is getting weird. I'm starting to just become uncomfortable with the relationship, and I'm starting to feel used. His mother, like, I would ask him if I could come over, and he would tell me that his mom didn't want me over and all of this stuff. Like, I had his address to his house because I'd been over there to like pick him up and stuff, but his mom just did not want to get to know me for whatever reason, and I did not know why. So this is where shit really goes left. And one day he ends up telling me that he's been passing out and having these one day I tell him like, hey, I need to talk to you. And I was going to talk to him about our relationship. I was not necessarily going to break up with him. It might have resorted in that. I wasn't sure, but I wanted to have a conversation. I've always been very like a big communicator, even if things are not working out, even from a young age. I am not going to lie to you to save your feelings or lead you on, because I don't like to do that to people. So I told him like we needed to have a talk, but I wasn't planning on breaking up with him 100%. It was just based off of how the conversation went, if he acknowledged certain things, and if there was a solution. If there was no solution, or if he didn't even like agree with that with the way of our relationship, then maybe, you know, we would have broken up. But I was just trying to have a combo before anything, like before deciding anything. So once I told him that we have to talk, he's like, yeah, I need to talk to you too. And I was like, stop sign. I was like, what do you need to talk to me about? Because he didn't act like anything was wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that he didn't have things that he could have brought to my attention. I didn't have a problem with that, but I was just kind of confused by it because he was talking completely normal, like right before I said that. And I was like, oh, like what about? And he was like, I just found out some really horrible news. And he was like, my symptoms have gotten worse. I've been passing out, and that's why I have been lagging and texting you back. I feel like he kind of felt like I was about to clock his tea, and like, you know, when someone says we gotta talk, you know, it might imply that there might be something wrong, you know, something going on there. That's what I thought that he was doing. Is like, you know, when I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, let me know if you have, but have you guys ever like told somebody that you need to talk to them because you like, and you made it known that it was about something regarding a relationship like not working out, and they like jump to say like, yeah, I've been wanting to talk to you about that too? Or like somebody that's tried to beat you to breaking up with them, like broke up with you first to beat you to it because they knew you were about to do it, and they wanted to be they didn't want to they didn't want you to be able to say that you broke up with them. Like, that's what it was giving me at first. But he kind of was just, he shifted the conversation to be about his health. So I was just like, wait, what are you talking about? And he sends me a picture of these medical paperwork or whatever that say that he has like this blood condition or whatever, right? So he's like, I've been having these, like, I've been experiencing these symptoms for like extremely long, and I didn't want to bother you with them because I wasn't even sure of like what exactly was going on with me, and I didn't want to scare you or stress you with this because it's not like your problem to worry about. And he was like, but I just got diagnosed with like a blood disease, and he made it really scary sounding and really serious or whatever, which I mean, it is the condition he was talking about, but I don't know much about it. But he was saying that it would cause him to like pass out and be really weak, not be able to eat, to the point where I was literally telling him like, you need to eat, and he would be telling me he's not going to eat because he just isn't hungry. And I would be like, well, even when if you're not hungry, you need to eat. And I never ended up having the conversation with him at this point about our relationship because I felt completely concerned with his health after this. And I think this was the point of telling me this. But I was just like, how can I sit down and tell him like I feel like he's been absent, or like I just feel like used and abused, and I don't feel like our relationship's really working right now, when he just hit me with that kind of information. I kind of felt sorry for him, and I felt kind of pressured to like be there for him or whatever. So like I said, I'm telling him to eat, day in and day out I'm checking on him and how he's doing. He's telling me that he passed out earlier this day or whatever, and now it's just becoming about me checking on him every second of every day. So one day he ends up not responding to me at all, and I'm worried about him. I don't have his mother's number because who didn't like me, and I kind of just didn't know what was going on with him. It had been at least 5 hours he didn't respond to me. I don't know if he was doing it on purpose to make it like, I feel like he was trying to make me feel concerned, just to like scare me, but I don't think he thought that I would pull up, because he made sure to make me feel like his mom didn't like me. So I don't think he guessed that I would pull up to, you know, try to see if he's okay and check in with him while his mom is there. But he was mistaken. So I end up getting in my car. I tell my mom like I'm about to go check on him because he's ghost for 5 hours. And at this point my mom feels bad for the boy. She knows about the condition. I told her about that. My whole family is like praying for him, and even though my family's not really religious like that, everyone's having him in their thoughts and prayers or whatever. So I pull up to his house and he's not there. I knock on the door. His mom comes out. She's like, hey, like, can I help you or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. Picasso hasn't been responding to me, and he told me about his condition. So I just wanted to kind of like check and see if he was okay. And she was like, what condition? And I was like, he told me about the blood condition that he has. Like, he's been telling me he's been passing out and stuff like that. And I know, like, you know, I don't really know why, you know, you don't like me very much. Like, I said this, y'all. I was like, I know you don't like me very much. No, that's what I said. I said, I know you don't like me very much, and I don't know why, but I still wanted to come and check on him because I care about him and his health. And she looked at me like stupid as fuck. She was like, huh? And I was like, which one are you confused about, the condition or you not liking me? And she was like, I never said I didn't like you, but I mean, if my son is telling me that you're cheating on him and that he's forgiving you, and that you're constantly, you know, doing things, trying to influence him to steal things and trying to
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Like, all of this random shit out of left field that I never did with him, ever. Like, have I ever, you know, went to the store and got a 5-finger discount? Y'all already know I have. But with him, no. Are you dumb? And cheated on him is crazy work. I've never been a cheater. And she's just like, when my son is telling me all of this about a girl he's dealing with, I can't, like, how fond of you do you expect me to be? And she was like, also, what are you talking about condition? He doesn't have a condition. I have a condition, a blood condition. So I'm immediately, question marks are all over my head. So I'm like, wait, pause. Where is Picasso? And she was like, he's with friends and stuff. Like, he's out hanging with friends. And I was like, have you heard from him? And she was like, yeah, he called me like an hour ago. Mind you, this is 5 hours I haven't heard from him. So I was like, well, and then I pulled it up and I was like, first of all, ma'am, I've never cheated on your son. I've never influenced him to go to the store and take anything. I've never done, none of that is true. I've never done any of that. I'm not a cheater. If anything, I literally waited until my relationship prior to him ended before I, you know, gave him a chance, because he was trying to pursue me while I was in a relationship and I didn't go for that. I'm not a cheater. I've never been a cheater, and I don't know why he would tell you something like that. But I mean, it makes sense now why you would not like me if he told you that, but that was a blatant lie. And then I pulled up the messages or whatever, and I was like, also, this is what he showed me. I'm like, this is what he showed me. Is this not accurate? Like, what did he, like, fake these results or whatever? And she's looking astonished at my phone right now. She's like, wait, he said this was his results? And I was like, yeah. And like, the information at the top, like, that you usually have on medical documentation, it wasn't really there, but I didn't notice that until, like, you click, like, you know, when you click on a message, like a picture in the messages, and it blows up more and you can see like the corners and the top and stuff like that. I didn't see that. It was like a zoomed in picture, not zoomed in, but it was like, without having to click it, you could see what it says in the middle. So with him sending me that, I didn't think to click it and see if his name was on the top, because like I thought, like, why would somebody lie about something like that? You know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm not thinking he would be lying about something like that. So when she clicks on it and blows it up, she's like, he cropped out my name. And she was like, these are my medical records and I have this condition. He doesn't have any health problems, like none. And I'm like, so he don't be passing out and like not eating? And she's like, girl, he might be skinny, but this man, he eats all of the food in my pantry. Like, what are you talking about? He eats every day. I buy him food, I cook him food. And I was like, he tells me he struggles to eat and he can't keep nothing down. She's like, girl, he can't keep nothing out. Like, he can't keep nothing up. He can't keep nothing out. Like, he eats everything. Like, I'm struggling to pay the groceries. And I was like, yeah, he did tell me that you were struggling and that he was helping you pay bills. And she was like, excuse me? She was like, I don't know what, like, you must have my son mistaken with somebody else, or you must be talking to somebody else, because my son doesn't help me with a thing around the house. He cleans up and stuff like that. He does his chores, but he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have no money. He's sold maybe a couple paintings here and there for like $100 maximum. He doesn't give me any money. And I was like, so you're not struggling? And she's like, I mean, I struggle like any other woman struggles, but I don't ask him to help me pay bills. No, not at all. And I was like, he told me that you didn't like me because you weren't open to him having a relationship because it distracts him from his art. And she was like, I want him to be distracted from his art and find a real job. Like, she was clocking his tea. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I guess it's not cool to not support your son's, like, you know, dreams and aspirations and like career choice, but I can understand, like, if it's not like, well, no, because he was young, so it's not like he had bills to pay. So it's like, you should support your children's hobbies if they're not old enough to have like other responsibilities. Like, it would be different if he was like a 20-year-old boy who didn't want to get a job while doing his, like, while pursuing his art, and he was just relying solely on his art, but he didn't have no money from anywhere else to like support himself. I would understand like wanting them to, you know, maybe not like stop doing that, but pause it and get something like a backup so that you can like keep yourself afloat, because you're an adult and you have adult bills and responsibilities. But he didn't, and I thought he did, but he didn't. So I don't know, kind of an L mom for her, saying like, I need him to get a real job, because like, what do you need him to get a real job for if he's not helping you out? But she was just like, I hope that, you know, he finds something that will, like, he will be able to sustain himself with, because I mean, obviously she's probably looking forward to when he's 18, 19. So I'm just like, wow. She's like, wow, I don't know why he would lie to me about that. Like, I'm sorry for how I kind of like, you know, was off, like, you know, put off by you, and how I was kind of standoffish towards you. I thought that you were treating my son poorly. He has a history of being with girls who would treat him however, and he would stay with them. And she's like, well, now I don't know if they really treated him poorly, or if he just lied to me just to keep them away from me so he could have a double life. But she was like, yeah, he absolutely does not help me with anything, and that's crazy. She's like, I know I can be an asshole and I can be kind of a strict mom, but I would never, you know, make my son pay my bills even if I were struggling. And she's like, he has a clean bill of health, girl. Like, eats all the food in the pantry. He's never passed out in his life. Never. So I'm jaws to the floor right now. So I'm like, what the, she's like, hold on, stay right here. And she calls her son up. She calls up Picasso. He answers immediately. And she's like, is there something that you want to let me know? And he's like, Ma, what are you talking about? And she's like, she did call me a little girl. Not gonna lie, I didn't like that very much, but she's like, why is this little girl at my house? No, why is your little girlfriend, that's what she said, why is your little girlfriend at my house right now telling me that you haven't been answering her for 5 hours and that she's concerned about your health because you have a condition, and the condition I have, by the way, and why did you tell me she cheated on you when she never did? And he's like, Mom, am I on speaker? And she lied and was like, no. And he was like, she's lying, like she's just lying, like I haven't been talking to her because I don't want to speak to her, I've been avoiding her. And I literally interjected and was like, what are you talking about? And he went silent, y'all, crickets on the phone, and he hung up the phone on his mother. So she's just like, you know, I don't really know how to navigate this because I love my son, you know, like this is my son, but I feel like it's probably in your best interest to just leave him alone. I don't know what he got going on. Like I've never known about like him lying about all of this stuff. Like I don't know what like he has going on, but I'm gonna have to figure out what he's going through basically. And she's just like, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that from him, but like you deserve better than that. Like she ended up saying that. So I'm like, all right, so he lied to me about having a whole health condition because he felt like I was probably gonna break up with him. That's crazy. So I end up texting him and I'm like, you're a weirdo, you're a liar. You don't even gotta send me back the money because clearly you're broke and you need it, and you lie like your mom was the broke one who needed it. I don't know what you did with my money, but you're a bum, you're lame, and you're a liar, and never contact me again. I blocked him. And y'all, why did I find the girl that he told me was like obsessing over him? Like I think he said that, he also said that she was like an ex that he is now cool with that keeps trying to cross that boundary or whatever. And why did I find her Instagram like in one of his tag posts or whatever? Because remember he showed me what she looked like, but he never showed me like her ad name or nothing. So I go to it and I DM'd her and I was like, hey, like you can have, this was petty, but like I said like, hey, you can have Picasso now. I'm done with him. He's a liar. He's pathological at lying. Literally, he's a pathological liar. And you can deal with his problems now. And you can be the one sending him money now because I don't want nothing to do with him. And she slid up with question marks like, girl, what are you talking about? And I was like, he told me that you kept trying to like, you know, slide on him while we were together and that he had to check you. He showed me the messages and she was like, can you send me those messages? I sent her the messages and she said, she put like hella laughing emojis. She sent me the messages between her and him where he's texting her, blowing up her phone. She's barely responding. And she quite literally told me, girl, I friend zoned him years ago and he's been trying to get out the friend zone until y'all got together. He calmed down with it, but I curved him hella long ago and we've been friends like cool ever since. But he is the one that wanted to be with me and I never liked him like that because I always thought he was square. So she sends me the messages, like she found where she originally curved him in the beginning of their DM on Instagram. And then they obviously moved to iMessage and stuff because she befriended him. But girl, that girl was not stunting him. He would be like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, good night and all this stuff. And she would just be like, hey, hi. Or like she would talk to him like a friend. Like she wasn't completely dry all the time. But when she was dry, it was when he was like being a little like more than like what a friend would do. Like, boy, I'm ignoring your little good mornings and because you're not my nigga, but we can talk about some funny shit or send each other funny videos and stuff. And y'all, I don't know what he didn't lie to me about. So this was never your ex-girlfriend or never a girl that was just on your body. If anything, you were on hers. She curved you. You made fake messages to show me of you curving her, mind you, unprovoked. I never knew about this girl. I never knew nothing about it. You didn't even have to mention it to me, considering it was a lie. But you went out of your way to try to make me jealous, make me feel like, oh, you just got on your body just to make me jealous. Whole time this is a girl that curved you. You made it seem like your mom was struggling so that you could look like a big man who helps out your mom at your young age when you were never helping her. She was never struggling. You're struggling. You made it seem like you got this big painting sold and made all this money from it, but then said that, or you were about to, and then it made it seem like somebody scammed you, but the painting is still on your wall to this day. Hello? You made it seem like you started to have symptoms, which he dry launched or soft launched these symptoms earlier on. Remember when he told me he didn't want to talk about it because it was too personal and like it was too stressful and he doesn't know like the verdict yet, so he doesn't want to talk about it. He soft launched it before I even told him we had to talk about something. I feel like he felt it coming or something, or just in case, like he had that in his back pocket just in case I ended up making it like, you know, clear that I maybe wasn't happy in the relationship. Then you made it seem like you had a very, very serious illness that your mother has, by the way, and sent me her results pretending they're yours. told your mother that I cheated on you and treat you like try to influence you to do bad things so that she wouldn't want to be around me, so that you could make up all these lies without it being blown up by your mother. It made me feel like your mom just hated me for no reason. Like, ew. Like, y'all tell me what y'all think. Would y'all think that that's pathological lying? Would y'all think that that's obsessive? I would. Hello? Like, this is what I mean. Like, you wanted me to be with you while I was with somebody else. It made it seem like you would treat me all the much better, which you did at first, but you were all the much worse. What the like, y'all, I don't know. That's really the end of the story time with him. I never spoke to him again after that. I've never seen him. Oh no, I did see him on Instagram like a couple years after this, and he ended up having a child with this woman, or no, either a child or he got married. I don't remember which one. Or it might have been both, but I know that he had like this big life-changing experience with a girl that he was posting about and stuff. And I was just nosy looking at his page years later, not years ago, years later from this, probably when I was like, I don't know, 17. I just looked at his page. I think it might have came up on my like people you know or something like that, a new page he had, and he was married or he was with child, and it was crazy to see, because I'm like, damn, are you giving her a double life, or are you now finally being yourself and being honest? Who knows? But yeah, that's the end of this story time, y'all. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Comment other videos that you guys want to see from me. Turn on the post notification bell so you never miss when I post a video. Follow me on all my social medias that are in the link tree in the description box below. Let me know how you guys like this look. It might look a little crazier than normal because I'm doing it in different lighting than I normally like sit down and do it at. So it's a little harder for me to see how it looks. So I hope it looks okay. It's not the best routine ever. I'm not a makeup artist. I just do this for fun. And yeah, let me know which story time you guys want next, of a birthday party fight that I had, like a big situation, or do you guys want where I made a service provider think I wanted a service and ended up giving her one instead? So let me know which one you guys want next. I'm sorry for the delay of this video. I ended up having to re-record it because of a personal situation that happened in the midst of me filming. So I kind of, you know, early guessed my countdown again, which I need to stop doing, but I'm better with the countdown, so I don't feel like I gotta stop doing countdowns altogether. It is helpful for you guys to know when I'm posting, but you guys know when I delay, it's not gonna be delay. So yeah, I'm still gonna give you guys this video on time-ish. And yeah, I love you guys so much. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh wait, no, make sure that you guys follow me on Instagram at ChesaTheBrat. I am doing a giveaway, big opportunity situation, and again, you guys get to pick my next videos. Like, you guys get to comment it here where when I ask you, but I end up doing a poll. And if you want to be part of the decision making in my Chesa democracy, go to Instagram, follow me, and definitely participate in the poll or whatever. I'm also going to be doing a juicy Q&A tonight. I'm going to be filming for my Patreon, and I did a questionnaire where you guys could ask the questions, and I'm going to be doing a juicy Q&A / topics, unpopular opinions video on here instead of Patreon. So when I post that questionnaire, you guys want to participate. So go follow me on Instagram at ChesaTheBrat. I'm going to put it on the screen. Follow me on TikTok. All of the links in my link tree. Go follow me and support me. I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
ChesaTheBrat.